No more free healthcare for illegals. My inability to get a job isn't because of my lack of education or inability to effectively communicate. It's because of illegals. I don't have any marketable skills because of illegals, not because I demonize education. The cost of groceries is up because of illegals, but Trump brought the cost down. I'm a fucking idiot because of illegals.
I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company, and not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you're watching, you are having a great time. Now, MAGA supporters have been very vocal about the economic woes because they're looking at the person they voted in, and the economic prospects that are coming out are not in alignment with what they expected they would get. So they are crying all over, and many of them are even seeking for empathy because they are saying, please forgive us. We didn't know he's going to be this way. Some of them are saying that this is not the person we voted for. He has totally changed and is not the guy that we thought he would be. So it is really a cocktail of issues here and there. So they have come out online crying and saying that we need your help. But how do you help these people? They have shown times without number that they are very adamant in their choices and they are not willing to compromise on whom they are voting. Many of them voted for white supremacy because they wanted someone who would propel and project the white American ideals that Trump spoke about quite many times. So in today's video, this is what we're going to talk about. I've come across clips of different white MAGA supporters crying for help, seeking for sympathy, and talking about their regrets. Let's listen to some of them in this clip. Then I shall come back and give my commentaries in the end.
I just want to say to every American that's having trouble with this, I am sorry I voted for him. I regret it with all my heart. I feel like I've enabled this monster to destroy democracy, destroy everything that is good in this country.
We've got a very crazy man driving the train, and he's going to kill this country.
And Anthony, are you voting a straight up and down Democratic ticket?
Not only there, I am actually for the very first time contributing across the board, across the country. And I've never, ever written a check or spent any money on anything political because I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I've been a lifelong Republican since the day I turned 18. For the first time in my life, I'm going to vote a straight Democratic ticket. Is if they're connected to Donald Trump, they are not connected to me.
So you now are no longer a Republican?
I am not, no.
Because of Donald Trump?
Because of Donald Trump. It was no longer the party that I joined. It's morphed into something that's almost unrecognizable.
You were a lifelong Republican.
Right.
If some
I'm pro-life. I always have been. I'm kind of freaking out right now. And I'm starting to regret the way I voted, the way I've been thinking. And honestly, I'm scared for my life. I'm older and it's high risk, so I had to go to a different doctor than I usually go. She said, you need to start making plans to deliver this baby out of town. You need to spend the next few weeks out of state. I don't know anybody out of state. I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, well, you're very high risk. And we're monitoring this baby closely. But if the baby's heart rate slows down, if we think the baby's life is at risk, you could die. And she said, the reason is because in this state, you're not allowed to operate on a woman who loses the baby. You have to go into labor naturally, and you have to deliver the baby. You have to go into labor and you have to deliver the baby. And if you have a dead baby in your uterus for that long, you could go into septic shock and die.
After the video cuts off, she then goes on to state that she's very scared at what this doctor has told her. And she was under the pretense that the reason why she did not support ABs and why she was totally okay with Donald Trump removing Roe v. Wade was because she was under the false narrative that women just didn't want their babies, and essentially what a late-term AB was a woman would walk in and then give birth, and then the doctor would just unalive the baby on the operating table, and that's why she was so against AB. So first Fox News and Republican propaganda, that is causing women to lose their lives. They vote against their own interest because you guys are lying to them to believe something that is not happening. She goes on then to state, she was like, the doctor then explained to me, no, that's not what a late-term AB is. A late-term AB is often done to save the life of the mother because the baby is under a condition that could cause a woman to lose their lives, whether the baby has already lost its life, or there's a severe complication, and that's what a late-term AB is. Number two, to the woman in this video, I sincerely hope that you and your baby are okay. At the same time, though, I cannot help but wonder, why is it with you guys every single time you don't give a fuck? You don't give a fuck until it affects you. You don't give a shit. Women are dying in states all around this country because these archaic fucking laws. And you never gave a damn. You turned your nose up at them and still hit Trump on that ballot box. Not giving a fuck. Laughing at these people, calling us fearmongers, telling us that we were liars. And now you're in this situation and all of a sudden you care. All of a sudden you want us to have some sympathy for you. I'm not sure. All of a sudden you're like, hey, maybe I'm wrong here. Yeah, you've been wrong this whole damn time. You were lied to, and you voted to go against your own best interests. My name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my face again. Thank you. Goodbye.
Hey, so just know if you're going through a spiritual awakening, you are going to lose your job. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but the job that you currently have, you only have that job based off past beliefs and your current vibration. So if you're learning and you're raising your vibration, universe, God is going to do whatever they can to push you out of that 9 to 5. And you're going to see it happen in real time. Like, it's going to be like some weird little domino effect to get you out of that job. But just realize that if you let go and go with the flow of life, better opportunities are going to come your way.
The jokes really do write themselves, because 3 days ago, did I not just say this in my video? Many Americans who voted for the talking orange believe that rules for thee and not for me is how things are going to play out. And it's just not. There are many Americans who are waking up to find out that their lives are going to be impacted by this. Many of them are effing around and finding out the hard way. And now look at the Republicans effing around and finding out.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. On the way to the White House.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
So I admit, I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my bank accounts and go into crippling credit card debt.
All right, you shady motherfucker, listen up and listen good. I voted for you because of your no tax on overtime bill, amongst other things. But here's the deal. I just read your great big beautiful bill, and it's bullshit.
As easy as it would be for me to say that I wasn't thinking when I voted or that I don't watch the news, I had to ask myself the same question that hundreds of you are asking me, is why did I vote the way I did? I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation.
You know why we voted for Donald Trump? Because the middle class man finally thought he was going to get ahead in life. You said no taxes on overtime. Big, bold, beautiful letters. We thought, hell yeah, why would we not vote for that? Then you turn around and pass the bill and it's a crock of shit. It's a tax credit for the people that make a certain amount of money. Of course, when you put it in big, bold, beautiful letters, it looks great. We're going to vote for you. And you knew what you were doing. You were baiting people in saying, no taxes on overtime. You didn't give no fucking details. Your details that we read.
All I can say, I was a dumbass, voted for Trump only because of my beliefs. People around me encouraged it. I can think for myself, yes. But I felt at the time that was the better choice. Now I'm looking at it with everything going on. It was the worst decision I ever made. I wanted not to vote.
I was a MAGA junkie.
A MAGA junkie who thought her government job would be safe with Donald Trump in office. She was wrong.
I cried. It's scary, you know, it's a really scary thing. And I was embarrassed. He's a good boy.
Piggott was abruptly fired last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service, based here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. The reason given for the firings of 125 probationary employees at the Bureau? Poor performance.
If you could say anything to President Trump now, what would you say? I expected better from you. I really did. I expected that you would do what was right and cut waste and fraud and all of those things that you promised us before we elected you in office, but you're not doing that. You're creating a disaster, and I don't know what America's going to look like if this continues.
I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, you know, the benefits of being a veteran. But I mean, it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country. But now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, you know, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. You know, it goes against everything I expected when, you know, I voted for him.
I just need someone to explain something to me. I live in Alabama, and my utility bill usually averages between $200 and $250 a month. Can someone please explain to me how my utility bill went from $250 a month to $696 this month? Could someone just please explain that to me? I know it was cold last month, but $696? Explain.
Cumplíamos todos los requisitos, al pie de la letra, entonces se terminó el caso, cesaron los 6 meses. Lo detuvieron al aeropuerto de Ley, nos mandaron a un castillo en North Carolina por 3 días y luego lo movieron aquí a donde estamos ahora. Le dijo que iba a ir por todos los delincuentes que entraron ilegal. Y ahí lo dijo muy claro. Lo dijo bien claro. Pero pasamos de tener una puerta abierta completamente a cerrarla con 10 cerrojos. Es un engaño masivo lo que hizo. Es un mentiroso. Está mucha gente enojada. No son inmigrantes. Gente que vive aquí, que tiene generaciones y generaciones de estar en este país.
You all asked, and here it goes. Here's my Trump hat. It's right here. It hasn't gone anywhere, and it doesn't change anything. Regardless, I am still going to enjoy my summer.
I'm just trying to trust the universe. Trust God. Trust myself.
Well, I'm trying not to laugh. This is her now.
It's been happening frequently at the 333 Miami Avenue Federal Court building. Janet Correa's husband was detained this week. According to her immigration lawyer, he has already been placed on expedite removal.
I wasn't just a Trump supporter. I was a true believer. I was one of his closest advisors. I spent Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all at Mar-a-Lago. I saw him when the cameras were off. Behind closed doors, Trump mocks his supporters. He calls them basement dwellers. On a hospital visit one time when people were dying in the ICU, he was mad that the cameras were not watching him.
How come everybody I know of that went to college is a Biden supporter? Yeah. And I don't understand how everybody is a Biden supporter if you just went to college. So what are they teaching in this college? Are they teaching anything?
Stuff like inclusivity and respecting other people, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, wokeness, yeah.
What happens if you lose your job when you have a mortgage? Job security isn't guaranteed. So what happens if you lose your income while paying a mortgage? It's a really great idea to have emergency savings. Ideally, have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved. Have an offset account. This can act as a backup fund while reducing your interest. Speak with your lender. They may have lender hardship options. Banks can offer temporary repayment pauses or reduced payments, and have income protection insurance. This can help cover mortgage repayments if you were to lose your job. Owning a home is a big responsibility. Having a safety net may be something you need to look into.
Now, isn't this amazing? Young Trump voters say they regret voting for a reckless dictator in Donald Trump. Let me say that again. Young Trump voters are having buyer's remorse. They voted for this man, and now they are mad because he's a reckless dictator. What do you mean? They're losing their jobs. They're losing their money. They're losing their student loan access. We're in a recession. They're not gaining anything. Their farmers are losing money as well. So these young voters say, dang, we messed up. You sure did. Don't have buyer's remorse. You had a choice, and you voted for Donald Trump. You voted the wrong way. Guess you got to wait 2026 to change that. But they are mad. They are steaming. They're hot. But the Republicans don't care. The administration doesn't care. You voted for them willingly after they told you what they was going to do. So now you have to stay in your wallows. That's right. Sleep in your wallows for a while. Because these young Trump voters are mad. Not only report the news, but there's nothing you can do about it. Trump is the president of the United States of America. And you feel bad, but we don't take in buyer's remorse.
If you lost your job or were laid off and you're unemployed, this message is for you. I am a firm believer when things like this happen, this is God pushing you into greatness. Because if it wasn't for him snatching that job away from you, you would not do the thing that you are destined to do. It's not until he has to pull the rug that you start figuring out A, B, C, D, E, F, and G on, and you start being creative and pushing yourself into what he really wants you to do. It's not until he pulled the job that you will start the business, that you will start the clothing line, that you will write the book. It's like things that you already know that you really had on your heart to do, and the job was really just standing in the way. And so I'm telling you, if you just ride this season out and you do what God needs you to do, you will make it to the other side. And when you get on the other side, you're going to come out on the other side with a brand new business. The book is going to be finished, because these are the things that God allowed you to be able to do when the job was taken away from you. And sometimes things like this just have to happen in order for greatness to come out. Because truth be told, a lot of times we're sitting on our gifts. We're sitting in these jobs that we don't even want to be in. You don't want to work the job. You're praying to God, telling God, look, there's more in me. I know that you created me to do better. But you're sitting on your gift. And so God has to say, okay, let me take this job away from you so that you can really do what you want to do and what I purposed you to do. So use this season to do what it is that you've been talking to God about, because this job loss, it really is a blessing in disguise, and everything is going to work out for the good.
I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but a lot of people are saying they're leaving MAGA now and they're angry at Trump. And I'm like, why all of a sudden? They're talking about the Iran war and Trump getting involved. Some people are complaining that the groceries, inflation, gas prices, the economy pretty much has not improved like Trump promised. Day one, he was going to lower everything, make all your dreams come true, all the bullshit. So a lot of people are realizing that the economy is not improving. I mean, I don't know what you MAGAs do when you go to the grocery store. You look the other way, pretend that the prices aren't going up for the most things, the most items. A few items have gone down, but not significantly where you can say, wow, I can really feel in my wallet that things are improving. So I guess the last straw for MAGA was the war. That Trump might be getting into a war and MAGA can handle it, can stand it, because they don't want another war. And Trump promised no wars. All these lies, you guys are okay with it. So you're okay. I mean, you're leaving MAGA. You're abandoning Trump. You're mad at Trump. But you're still racist? You're still homophobic? Xenophobic? You're still enjoying seeing immigrants being deported? Families separated, people crying on the streets because their family are being torn apart, and you guys are, that's what I voted for. So you're leaving MAGA with all that baggage, right? So you're not changing. You're the same. It's just because you're mad at Trump, right? You're not realizing, wow, I was in a cult. Wow, I can't believe that I had that perception against the LGBTQ. So you're not acting like that, right, MAGA? The thing was the war. Oh, and the grocery price is not going down, but the war did it, right? Everything else, you're going to take it with you. You're going to still be you. Yeah, no, that's not going to fly.
Starting to say, I never thought that voting for Trump 3 times would result in me losing tens of thousands of dollars. A beekeeper out of North Carolina says, yeah, I proudly voted for Trump all 3 times. I flew flags for him and put signs for him in the yard. But now I'm out tens of thousands of dollars due to lost federal funding and tariffs, so I cannot export my products, my honey and my wax, to other countries like I could before, and nobody's buying it in the United States. Hay producers in Idaho and Utah that export alfalfa hay to China are now seeing 135% tariffs put on their product, and all of a sudden, they don't have anywhere to ship it. They held it all winter in hopes of sending it off to China in the spring, and now China's not willing to buy. Soybean producers are once again being hit harder than they were in the first Trump administration, and China, for its part, has diversified where it pulls these products from, with Brazil becoming the #1 soybean exporter, and other countries picking up the slack for honey, for beeswax, and for hay around the world. Now, China's doing a great
I did it, man. Like, the confidence that comes from doing what you set out to do it's going to be with me forever. Like, I am so firmly rooted in my skill set and like what I can do. Like, nobody can take that away from me. Like, I remember when I used to like stutter when I would tell people what I do for work. Now, I'm like, did you hear? Like, there were conversations I had to have with myself that was like, Amanda, if you need to sell your house because the burden financially is too heavy, then that's what you need to do. And you will downsize, and you will sell the things you need to sell, and you will pick up a second job or whatever you need to do. And I will say, like, Dean was on the exact same page. So he started the candle business because we had this opportunity, and it was ridiculous to not take this opportunity. I mean, so many of you were like, how can we help? You know, so many of you didn't lose your jobs. So many of you didn't have that same burden. And so you wanted to help me. And I couldn't just like take donations. No. So I thought, well, if we make a product and then people want to buy it and they like the product, win, right? So he did that.
All right. We've got another FAFO for another red state. Gather round. FAFO, this time for the red state of Michigan. Michigan voted for the current administration, and look at this. Steel workers laid off in Michigan. Yes, MAGA steel workers who voted for the current administration have been laid off. Did you know that he screwed over the steel industry just like all the other industries in his first term? And yes, steel workers voted for him in Michigan. They voted for DJT again. And again, they get screwed over. This time it's worse because it's tariffs. And tariffs put on steel imports has accidentally slowed MAGA any kind of workers. Follow, because you're getting laid off every single day.
My whole house is on Medicaid.
Okay.
My husband, me, our baby daughter. Okay, we're all on Medicaid. Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the birth control in my arm.
You might not have the luxury of that kind of birth control, but there's other contraceptives that are affordable and free that don't require Medicaid.
Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to have the antidepressants that I have.
Well, a quick Google search shows that there are generic antidepressants that are as low as $7 a month.
At no cost to me.
That's great, but they're a cost to someone.
Without Medicaid, I wouldn't be able to go to therapy to continue to be the mom I am to the 3 kids and 2 separate houses that I have to do.
There's a lot of different types of therapy out there, and you know what? There's a lot that are on sliding scales. You might have to be more creative, but you're not going to go without.
Without Medicaid, my husband wouldn't be able to go and get the medications that he needs and the treatment that he needs for his disability.
That might be true, but this woman's videos are all about her husband's disability, and she's yet to tell us what her husband's disability is, so who knows?
Not a single person in my house would have health care.
Okay, but at some point you've got to start asking yourself why. We're not a socialist country just because we have socialist programs. Medicaid is designed to be temporary. It's not a lifetime thing. I'm all for people using these services temporarily, but that's the key word, temporarily. These are never designed to be permanent. At some point, you're going to have to take accountability and maybe make some life changes, maybe make a career change, do something different so that your family can have those types of benefits that you're saying that you need.
We need Medicaid. And if you live in America, everybody deserves free health care.
False. Everyone deserves good health care. Good health care comes with a price. If you want a socialist healthcare system, go live in a country that has it. If you want good healthcare, find a way to pay into the system. Nothing is free.
Bear with me because this is going to be a little bit longer.
What a terrible person to be confused for. I've never had my inbox flooded so much with so much hate, violence, threats to me and my family because they thought I was somebody else in that other video that you guys keep coming to my page for. I'm not that person. But here's the thing, like as a Republican, as a Christian, we don't do that. You guys, it's Republicans who are in my inbox threatening me. We don't do that. We don't stoop to the level of a liberal to try to get a point across. As a Christian and a Republican, I was shocked.
It is you that does that. By and large, almost by extreme margin, I'd venture to say it's 95-5 or even 99-1. It's conservatives. I've got some left-leaning women creators that I follow on here. I could share you some of the videos that they get. Not DMs, public messages about assaulting the children, public messages about assaulting the women, public messages about how they will end their life. It's you guys, and you got a taste of it. You got mistaken for a liberal, and you got treated how liberals on social media get treated. You didn't find and step accidentally into some, magical place where you just so happen to get like one little stars aligned moment of bad choices. This is how you people behave every moment of every day, and you got to experience it. And I hope you swallow that. I hope you swallow that deep down and maybe take a deep breath and reflect on exactly who you are. You as an individual, you as a group, you as a political party, you as an ethos. This is who you are. This is the same type of thing that like when a woman dates somebody that's like really good to them, but they've been bad to all their other partners, and all their friends are like, hey, that guy you're dating, he's a monster. You should get rid, but he's really good to me. He's good to you now until he turns on you. And some circumstances aligned just so that he turned on you and you got to see what he really looks like. The lights came on and you got to feel it. I hope this helps.
Hey, is there anybody out there that voted for Trump that can admit they made a mistake? Shit, because I can. This ain't what I thought it was going to be at all. You know, like, it was my first time voting. I'm thinking I'm picking the lesser of the two evils. But I feel like I was wrong. Like, there were some things that Trump said that appealed to me, but I wasn't really looking at the bigger picture. You know, like, I wanted illegal immigration to stop, right? But I didn't think he was going to go to this extent where we got plainclothes officers pretty much kidnapping people in the street. Like, I just seen a video of ICE holding a kid hostage in order to get to the father. Like, that's not what I signed up for. To be honest, I don't want to be a Democrat or a Republican, because in my opinion, both parties are just two feathers off of the same bird. Like, the shit is all corrupt. Like, we should focus more on being decent human beings than being what our political affiliations are. Too many people out here living their life through politics, like that's their whole personality. And I ain't really rocking with that. But if you voted for Trump and you feel like it was a mistake, let me know.
Welcome back to the channel. So, MAGA supporters, often vocal about the economic struggles, have increasingly taken to online platforms to express financial hardship. Many cite rising costs, stagnant wages, and job insecurity as core issues, mirroring broader economic anxieties. Their complaints reflect a sense of betrayal as they feel policies under the current administration have failed to deliver promised prosperity. This outcry has sparked a complex dynamic, particularly as some seek empathy from Black Americans, a group historically marginalized and accustomed to systemic economic challenges. So over the years, Blacks have been sidelined by the entire American governance structure, and the economic woes have never been something to be considered quite seriously. So right now, MAGA supporters who voted for Trump because he was white and he promised to be an American first president, they are crying and seeking help from Blacks. How on earth would they go to a people they didn't even want their opinion on who to vote for? I think this is a classic FAFO moment for them. This appeal for empathy is striking given the political divide. MAGA rhetoric has often dismissed or downplayed the structural inequalities faced by Black communities, emphasizing instead a narrative of individual responsibility. Yet in their current financial distress, some supporters are drawing parallels between their struggles and those of Black Americans, framing economic hardship as a shared plight. This shift reveals a selective acknowledgement of systemic issues often absent in their broader political discourse. So Blacks have always fought for things that concern almost every American. But then when you look at how whites have always fought for their issues, it's only a white-only affair. They don't want to talk about things that are affecting everybody. So when Blacks have been speaking about the unequal opportunities from the different employment agencies that exist, whites thought that Blacks were just being so insensitive. But looking at their economic plight right now, they're realizing that truly Blacks have been on the forefront to advocate for equity and equality within America. Black Americans, however, are not a monolith, and responses to these appeals vary. Some express skepticism, noting the irony of MAGA supporters seeking solidarity from a community their movement has frequently antagonized. Others see an opportunity for dialogue, recognizing that economic pain can bridge divides, even if temporarily. The shared experiences of financial strain could, in theory, foster mutual understanding, but long-standing cultural and political tensions complicate this. The phenomenon also highlights a broader trend of economic discontent fueling populist sentiment. MAGA supporters, like many Americans, feel squeezed by inflation, supply chain issues, and a post-COVID economy. Their outreach to Black Americans may reflect a strategic pivot, an attempt to broaden their base or deflect criticism of their movement's exclusivity. Yet, these maneuvers risk appearing performative as it sidesteps deeper issues of racial and economic justice that Black communities have long navigated. Ultimately, this dynamic underscores the complexity of empathy in a polarized society. While shared economic struggles could unite disparate groups, the baggage of political rhetoric and historical inequalities make genuine connections elusive. For MAGA supporters and Black Americans alike, the challenge lies in moving beyond transactional appeals to address the root cause of their mutual discontent, a task requiring more than online pleas for understanding. I think Blacks are not ready for the pleas that whites are bringing to them, and they are not ready to be the ones who are going to be used as the rag for leaving the challenges that America is going through on them. They are saying that for years we've been out there fighting, we've been out there advocating for issues that are important, but you thought that all we did was being jokers. We all were insensitive and we were not considerate of what other Americans are feeling. Right now, when Trump's economy is pinching you and hitting you hard, you are out here claiming that you have repented and you want Blacks to come and join you in advocating for proper economic governance. This, Blacks say they are not ready for. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you're watching us for the first time, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share. Thank you, and let's meet at the next one.